Earth Day is in 5 days, everyone. What interesting things have happened recently? Most recently, I encourage those of you who are true followers of O1, those not misled by delusion, to go to the temple to meet O1 in person at the beginning of April. We should go and inquire about him, visit him, and find out who he truly is. I've already posted on the page about why we should go and find him. The real reason is so everyone can discover the truth for themselves. This way, you won't think that Kiantawan is trying to deceive you or that you're trying to obstruct people's good deeds. Why would you want to be an obstacle to people's good deeds? Why would you slander the monk? Are you truly followers of O1? If you are, you must have a conscience regarding being a good friend. Secondly, you must be rational. Don't just believe whatever you want and feel comfortable with it. That way, you don't even realize you're showing your selfishness. You only think, I love O1, without caring whether O1 loves you or not, or what kind of love it is. And regarding the information you receive from friends, saying, listen to this, or they say it's from O1, take some time to consider it. You don't have to believe it, but you should listen. What happened? You know what? It turns out you're all closing your ears and eyes, refusing to acknowledge or listen. Thank you for your concern, but you say, we love Luang por Damacheo. That's it. Are you crazy? Let me use that word. What kind of love is that? A blind love? Are you thinking that the people giving you information are going to do something to you? Are they going to prevent you from gaining merit? That's why you have to close your eyes and ignore everything, not reading or listening even a little, just to affirm that you love O1. And so what? Your only way of showing love is by donating money to big projects, like the 40,000 temples for World Protection Day, which is O1's birthday. Is that your way of showing love? Have you ever asked what kind of love O1 wants from you? You never care. Actually, you don't love O1 at all. You love yourselves. You only know that O1 is sacred, that O1 is a field of merit. You know that if you donate to O1, the merit will be immense, a reward that brings you extraordinary wealth, even in this lifetime. Is that right? Ask yourself, in your subconscious. Why do you want to do this donation? You just don't say it out loud, but you claim you love O1. Oh, you want to fulfill O1's desire to please O1? Excuse me, but if it weren't for the hope that doing good deeds for O1 would miraculously bring you prosperity and wealth, you wouldn't spend a single penny. Right? Therefore, you should simply love O1 for who O1 truly is, and that will truly benefit you. You're rushing to do this project even though you should have some intelligence to consider that it never happened when O1 was teaching at the school, or sitting there teaching, inviting, and speaking to O1. It never did, but that doesn't mean O1 wouldn't do it if they were still teaching today. But shouldn't you be a little more mindful? When O1 is facing legal charges, don't you care how it came about, who brought it, or why? There's nothing logical about it being a criminal case, it's perfectly justifiable. But you just turn a blind eye. You don't care. You just want to hear sweet talk from the temple, that O1 is still here, that O1 is giving orders. You have to pretend. You have to use someone else's name so they won't find fault with O1 being in the temple. Do you think the outside world is easy to fool? The people who are going to target O1 aren't stupid. Do you think that just by using words like this, they won't know whether O1 is present or not? The reason you see things as quiet and smooth is because they know everything. They even know that O1 isn't there. In fact, they even know how stupid you are. Do you understand? You're stupid. Many people say, oh, those kinds of words from Kiantawan aren't from O1's child. Oh, I'm sorry, I've already said all the nice things. I've spoken for intelligent people, for virtuous people. No matter how politely or logically I speak, you won't listen to those without the virtuous ears of someone like me, because your sins blind you. And then when I speak negatively, you say, oh, that's not O1's child, they're untrustworthy, they're a troublemaker, they're evil, and so on. You're incredibly stupid, utterly stupid. Excuse me, but this time, let me speak directly. This might be the last video where I show you so much mercy. O1 said this is your last chance. If you don't listen to me, you won't listen anymore. You won't have a future. So, I've been speaking indirectly and politely for so long, and you never paid attention. But when I speak directly, clearly and explicitly, you call it rude. You say it's not from O1's child. Find out all that you want. Where were you when I spoke politely? Don't you realize that when I speak politely, only those with merit can hear it? That means your sins are blinding you. Then you hear harsh and vulgar words from me, and you say, oh, those kinds of words aren't like those of O1 at all. Whether you believe it or not is up to you. Set your conditions however you want. Because whether you believe me or not doesn't bother me. But when will you ever regain your senses? I speak politely, but you don't listen. You listen and then say, oh, I can't listen to that. That's called being blinded by karma. I won't pay attention to you now, but I will reveal the whole truth later, before Earth Day. Do you think O1 is happy? Do you care about O1 at all? You only think about rushing to complete the 40,000 temples, people coming from all directions to fill the entire Dharma grounds. O1 will be happy then. It's an illusion. You're only thinking from your own perspective, without looking at the reality of how it could be like that, what it's for, and where O1's needs are. How do you know? You don't know at all. You don't even care about O1, how O1 is doing now, or where O1 is. Then I told you that information came to me saying O1 has left the monkhood. He's not Fra Damacheo anymore. Excuse me, but why did O1 ask me to say this? Do you know why? Because O1 thought he was going to bring out a fake version of himself as a monk. He's been using the name O1 to deceive you for years. You refused to believe me, you wouldn't listen to me. That's why O1 has to tell you that the real O1 isn't O1 anymore. So, don't believe anyone who dresses up as a monk and pretends to be O1. If O1 didn't tell you the truth, you would all be deceived. And who would suffer? It wouldn't be me, the one speaking. And O1 wouldn't be affected either. You could just throw your money away. You wouldn't be doing good deeds for the real O1, for the true field of merit. Delusion prevents you from doing good deeds for the right field of merit. Delusion is about misinterpreting the truth, and when you misinterpret the truth, you immediately become a slave to Mara. Delusion is one of the defilements of Mara. Just being deluded is like getting lost. You want to go forward, but you get lost, and you won't reach your destination. It's like that, even if you say, oh, I'm wearing white, I'm observing the precepts, I'm diligently meditating, I'm going to give merit to O1, you get lost. Why do you get lost? Because you're not looking where you're going. Who told you not to look where you were going? They were trying to guide you. That's them, the ones who were guiding you. Did you look up to see who he is? Did you look up to see who you made the offering to, and how you made it? Where did it come from? There are so many reasons behind it all. And I've been trying to give you reasons to ponder for a long time, that it wasn't O1 from the start. Let's get to the truth about this first. When O1 left the temple in February 2019, what was the reason? This is a very big issue, but why don't you care? You're going to say it's not true, you just want to say it's not true so you don't have to care. But why are you so uninterested? Do people who love each other not care like this? They should care. At least they should ask if it's true, and find out why this information exists, where it came from. And I've given you all the information. It might not be to the point of catching the culprits, but you're going too far. Are you playing pretend? You're going to say, oh, You'll only believe it when it's news that those monks are really bad and they hurt O1. Do you need a movie to show that? That's a movie. In real life, if these people are still in the temple, walking around freely, what do you think? And where are you keeping O1? And you want to believe it yourself that O1. It's still alright, because the truth is, the people you see every day, whether it's O2, O6, or anyone else, everyone in the temple, they are all the ones slandering O1. You should realize that if these people were here, you would never really meet O1. If O1 were an ordinary person, they would be locked up in the temple, just like you want to believe. But O1 isn't an ordinary person. O1 has special abilities. Therefore, O1 can go anywhere. And O1 has already shown that O1 has left the temple. So there's no need to seize the temple. Why would O1 do that? O1 could just leave quietly. O1 could deceive you more easily than they could. But O1 can't do that because O1 focuses solely on merit. O1 isn't evil. If someone with special abilities did evil, they wouldn't possess those abilities. Therefore, O1's special abilities are due to their immense purity. Purity is cleanliness, free from negativity. Only then can these special abilities be preserved. You must understand this first. So, since O1 possesses real special abilities, they just never talk about it. Because in school, O1 would say a few words, and people would accuse them of boasting and showing off. That's a very difficult life as a monk, but O1 has persevered for so long. But now you don't see O1 at all. You want to believe that O1 is still around, just saying things like sermons, full of nonsense, rambling and absurdity. Those aren't O1's words at all, yet you want to believe they are. I'm open to pointing out who says these are O1's words. Those who claim they're O1 weren't even there during the time O1 spoke. They've never even met O1. Yet they act all high and mighty, commenting on pages where I post, asking if I've met O1, if I know O1, and so on. You're just kids, don't overstep your boundaries. I possess more virtue and merit than you think, but I'm not in a position to boast about myself. I'm just doing my job. I can talk about myself to a certain extent to prevent you from overstepping your boundaries, otherwise, you'll accumulate sin. I'm just a messenger, and I have confidence in this. And there are people who confirm it. I just don't need to prove it to you. If you're truly O1's followers, if you've ever heard O1's sermons in kindergarten, you'd understand that what I'm saying is entirely O1's. You all kept quiet, and you didn't want to believe it yourselves. But that's in the past. Your disbelief has fallen on you. Is it fair that your pride and stubbornness led you to not believe me simply because you didn't know me? Like the big sponsors, you just didn't know them because I'm not a big sponsor. So I'm not worthy of your trust. Many religious leaders have met me, but when they found out I was banned from the temple, they just thought, oh, she must have done something wrong. Therefore, they didn't believe her anymore. You are all so unintelligent, and you just choose the easy way. It's not that you're unintelligent, you're just careless. I'm saying that you're letting your carelessness kill you. At the beginning, I was going to explain why I gave the information that O1 wasn't actually in the temple, and why I gave the information that O1 had disrobed since 2020. To show that, if that were the case, O1 hadn't given any orders in the temple and hadn't returned to give orders as Fra Damacheo since 2020. How many years has it been now? But the temple still insists on using the term, worshipping the Dhamma of Luangpur Damacheo, O1. And then they've been using this name to make money, undertaking bigger and bigger projects, all while claiming to be affiliated with O1. It's that simple. Why don't you watch movies and TV shows and reflect on yourselves? Many movies and TV shows use this method. Many scammers do this, using the name O1 to make money for themselves. And the origins and explanations are all explained to you. connected and complete, showing who's who did it, and who didn't. It's just that the real culprits haven't been caught yet. You see us as the culprits because you haven't had us arrested to show you that your good people are the real criminals. You see us, who are pointing you out right now, as the culprits. Are you going to wait until I actually catch the real culprits before you believe me? You won't believe me. Even if I do catch them, you'll still accuse me of slandering you. Do you know why? Because you've been blinded to everything. Your perceptions and understanding have been obscured. This blinding of your intelligence and delusion has been going on since 2021. It started with the application of gold leaf to the dome of the Mahadhammakaya Pagoda on New Year's Day 2019. That was the first time they began using sorcery, magic spells, and incantations against you. They gradually added more until it became a Zoom system where sorcery is embedded within the system itself. They use sorcery to create love potions, making O6 sit in the center of your body, replacing the Buddha, O1, and the Venerable Grandfather and Grandmother. If you have awareness, check yourself. You won't see O1. When did you first see the Venerable Grandfather and Grandmother in your meditation? For those who have, you have. But for those who have never seen, that's truly unfortunate. You will never see them again because they belong to the dark side. Therefore, when they come, they are in darkness, so you don't see them. Whether they come from the light side or the dark side, you still won't see them. So, since you joined the Zoom system in 2021, how many times have you used the Zoom system and participated in various projects in 2021? That means you have received the seed of black magic every time you used it. Someone said that once you have practiced meditation and followed the Buddhist path, black magic cannot enter. It can only enter those who have the seed. That's right, you have never had the seed before, or you only made merit by offering rice to the Buddha once, which only purifies the seed once. But that only happens once a month. If there is a month when you don't come, you will be affected by black magic for a long time, until you have another opportunity to purify yourself. But if you still don't have the awareness that it is black magic, you will enter again. Each time you enter, you receive the seed again. The seed that you receive repeatedly is like a disease. It will continue to grow in you until it becomes a part of you. And then, you will have the seed of black magic with you forever. So, whenever he performs any sorcery, spells, or incantations, you receive them fully. Don't you see the process by which he imbues the magic into you? It starts with him initially chanting spells onto a gold plate, which you then invoke and pass on to the pagoda. That's the first time. Then, when you join the Zoom session, that's your choice, you listen, and it's like receiving spells through the Zoom system. While you're using that program, he performs rituals to bind you to him. He instills in you his delusion, fueling your faith for hours while you're in that system. Then, in 2023, he asks you to donate to a gold plate inscribed with the names of the 24 Buddha statues. That's him essentially making you his full follower of sorcery. But you don't realize it. What he's doing isn't giving you a direct connection to the pagoda. It's becoming a sorcery master sitting there, performing rituals to bind you to him, your choice. He plans to inscribe your family's names and your own names under the base of the 24 Buddha statues. The richer you are, the more you become bound to him as a follower if you lack wisdom and awareness. So what else? You're afraid the Buddha isn't sacred anymore? Then you suggest creating 2 more Buddha images with black hair, 2 for the glass room and 1 for the cloister? That's the style of the Buddha images of the dark side, the side of Mara. The black-haired Dhammakaya is the dark side of Dhammakaya. You don't know that and you've never been interested. Kyungtawan has said this over and over because O1 gave me the information. Kyungtawan isn't an expert, but when I took on the role, I had to do it. I learned along the way, that's why I remember and am telling you now. Therefore, this knowledge must be learned. If O1 could teach and preach himself, he would teach every day. My question is, those of you who don't listen to me, it's because you've never heard O1 preach in school before, right? That's why you're not interested in listening. Kyungtawan will tell you what O1 said. If you listen to it, if you've heard O1 before, you'll believe it because it's all O1's words. Kyungtawan doesn't just speak for herself, doing nothing. Why would she? Isn't it better for me to be happy in my own merit? I'm not someone who is very diligent in sitting here speaking to make people believe me when they don't want to believe me anyway. I have no credit with you. I used to think that since O1 let me be the one to convey this, how many people would actually listen? But I didn't doubt that. Do you know why? Because it's O1's job. O1 uses their merit. O1 controls the merit, and O1 sends it out. I'm just a robot who prepares the data and sends it to O1. In terms of detail, O1 will channel the merit to the people they want to know and receive it. If anyone has seen any of the information that Kyungtawan sent, it might not have been sent directly, it might have been shared by someone else, or you might have seen it in your feed. That's the merit that O1 used to send it to you. Wouldn't you wonder? Would your own merit be enough for you to stop and read, and reflect on how you obtained this information? Some people have found the answer and emerged from their delusion. You should rejoice and appreciate that merit. But those who saw it, knew about it, and rejected it, and even acted arrogant, conceited, and stubborn, wanting to believe monks more, going to ask monks in their own region they know, asking the coordinating people they know. And then they were told what they were told from the central authority, and you believed them more. That's not helping you. Because you prefer the easy path, which isn't how you build reputation. We have to let you go. But the merit of O1 has already come down, and O1 would be wasted if that were the case. So whenever O1 asks me to do something, I do it. And I feel like I've been doing the same things over and over again for many years, for 8 to 9 years now. But I believe that O1 has people who need to know, and maybe they are new people. Or have just finished their karma, so they will come to listen to me speak. So, last January, some of the sponsors who believed in O1 asked questions and were curious about the questions and wanted to ask O2, but they were blocked from speaking and dragged away. The intention was to prevent anyone from hearing the questions. It was a complete cover-up. And that confirms that everything is true. It's so true that even at the temple, they can't answer any questions. They can't deny it, so it's better not to answer at all and not to let anyone know. That's the best option. And you who don't listen to anything, don't know anything, and don't care about anything, you will never know the truth. And most recently, there's been encouragement to say that when O1 has the opportunity, the statute of limitations for the case expires on March 20th, 2026, and they will announce it. At first, they weren't going to announce it, but we pressed them, saying it was true. This case was reported to the temple in October 2023, requesting its closure. Teacher Jude emphasized this strongly on his page, stating that the temple was informed to close the case for O1 because they were no longer suing. If the temple, specifically O2 or Fra Thadachivo, had closed the case, it would have been over. And you would have met O1 since October 2023. So what prevented you from meeting him? Even on his birthday in April 2024, Fra Rock mentioned during the Dhamma Victory Day on August 27, 2022, that the building would be completed in the year O1 turned 80, which is April 2024, and O1 would be released. That was Fra Rock's statement. What happened? On that day, people were eagerly awaiting his release, but no one saw O1, right? Fra Rock never clarified anything, he only continued to solicit donations. You all remained silent. He then resorted to holding seminars in various locations outside the temple. And then they whisper that there are still many merit-making activities needed to help prevent him from obstructing O1. It's deception, that's the word to use. Deception. And why are so many virtuous people so easily deceived? The monks who say that speak without any substance. They've said things firmly before. And then when the time comes, they just say we need to make a lot of merit for O1 so that O1 will be liberated. Whose language is that? What kind of person speaks like that? It's not true at all. It's all just made up ideas, and then they use those ideas to deceive others and solicit donations. And you, the owners of the money, are so eager to gain merit that you don't even need to use your intellect to check? Don't you know that merit must arise from 3 pure intentions? The intention of the giver. Who is the giver? It's you, right? And the recipient? The monks, right? But who is inviting you? You have to look at that too. Whose initial intention was that of the project? Was that person's intention pure? If the intention of the person creating the event is to cheat, and they organize everything as a merit-making event, then you'll say, hey, this is a merit-making event. Of course, Sangha donations. Kathan, Fa Pa, clearly merit-making events. How can you say it's a sin? The sin lies in who conceived the idea and why. Why are you overlooking things like this? You haven't understood the Dharma. Yet you pretend to know everything. That's unfortunate. Knowledgeable people tell you, but you act like you know everything and then you accuse them of being obstacles to doing good. Goodness must be good from beginning to end, not just in its outward form. There's someone behind it all, defining who dictates it. You are the real disciples of O1. If you were truly disciples, you wouldn't be like this. I don't want to waste time talking to people who aren't real disciples. It's a real waste of time. And those who leave comments that undermine positive feelings come from these people, minions hired to cause trouble. Think about it. What I'm saying is so true that even O6 uses fake pages and ghost accounts to post abusive language and try to make Kiontawan believe them. But you can't correct anything I've said. You can't deny anything I've said. Therefore, everyone should use their intelligence. And now, what's the important point? Do you know? Early April, the first week of the month, was after the statute of limitations for the criminal case against O1 had expired, and the news had already been released. Didn't you notice that the letter was issued on March 20th, 2026? And the temple hasn't said anything? Then they started leaking the news via line, and the leaders of the merit-making activities gradually found out and passed it on. For almost a week before it became news in various media outlets. But during that time, as I mentioned last time, as Fra Sanatwang said, well, it's already been reported by major news outlets. It's normal. We're busy with merit-making activities, so we're observing the situation and maintaining a reserved stance because we don't know what will happen. Do you know what it became? Even though it was a situation where our temple should have been taking the lead in suppressing the negative news, because it was about O1, our monk, we couldn't let others spread baseless rumors. Slander and insult O1 with vulgar language. You must have the morality of a monk, you must have a conscience. Stop the sins of those who don't know by speaking the truth first. But there was none of that. The monks at Wat Phra Dhammakaya didn't care what happened after the O1 case was over. They let the news spread as they pleased, distorting O1's image using AI. Making him look like he had a headache, a sad face, or whatever else they wanted to portray him as. You let them do this to O1, saying you're busy with a big project. Do you know what that makes you think? It makes you think you're only thinking about the immediate benefits you'll get from organizing this April 22nd event because you got it last year. You probably feel like, wow, it's worth doing it again. This year you're going to reap the rewards. So you won't let anything affect your earnings, right? You see nothing else as important except the money going to the temple. You claim it's a huge religious undertaking and shouldn't be made a big deal out of. People who don't know the truth will talk about it. Should you let them talk about it? You praise O1 as highly virtuous, you're creating great merit for O1, but you let people gossip about O1. It shows your insincerity, that you're only after your own benefit and self-interest. It's not about merit at all. If you consider merit, you'll know that protecting O1 is the true merit, the gratitude you show. And you, with your gratitude, will easily attain inner enlightenment. Your wisdom will shine brightly. But what the temple is doing is ignoring it, not caring. They let whoever wants to say whatever they want about O1. And it turns out they're amplified the rumors so much that there's nothing but bad things about O1. You're just indifferent, like, oh, let them say whatever they want. Wait until the event on April 22nd, and you'll see how much people believe the outside rumors. You just see this as a game to get everyone to the event. And it proves that O1 is innocent, but you haven't solved the problem of preventing people from committing sins against O1. This kind of heart isn't that of a monk, it's a selfish, evil heart. What you gain isn't merit. That's why I know it's an evil heart, because if you had a monk's heart, you would only think about merit and prevent people from committing sins. You wouldn't let them commit sins and then say, I'll prove it to them, but nobody believes me. Proving that nobody believes you will prove it yourself. But what a monk should do is prevent people from committing more sins, especially against O1. If you truly value O1, you don't look at that at all. You only focus on the big event's success. What does that success mean? First, many people will come, and the event you're organizing will look like a huge success, a credit to the religion, making it look stable. It's all about image building. But what's the real situation? How much money is being spent? How much money is coming in, and where does it go? You don't need to elaborate on that. But you're all involved, that's why you're keeping quiet. You're afraid that if you express opinions that praise O1 too much, if the backlash against O1 builds, people won't come to World Protection Day. Is that all you're afraid of? You're just afraid the money won't come. Just because you're afraid people won't come means the benefit you're seeking isn't merit, but rather some kind of share or profit margin. But do you know what's worse? The promotion for the April 22nd event suddenly showed an advertisement with O1 floating in the air, accompanied by the full text saying, Luang Por Damacheo will appear to lead meditation on April 22, 2026. The image showed the area above the Dhammakaya pagoda at twilight. Does this mean it's an evening ceremony? But as far as I know, last year's O1 didn't use any audio recordings to lead meditation during the evening ceremony. So is it happening this year? They say O1 will appear, it's like they're using O1 as bait, using his physical presence to lure people. But do you know what can't fool people? The image shows the pagoda and the pagoda courtyard, the Buddha jewel, the Dhamma jewel, and the Sangha jewel. Didn't you notice in the advertisement that they filled the seating area for the Sangha jewel, the seating for the monks, with people? It was packed tightly, and the courtyard, which used to be the pagoda courtyard for people to sit in, is now completely covered in trees. The road in the middle has been made to look much wider. Then, all along the street, there were shops set up with umbrellas, lights, and vendors selling things, and people sat and walked around. That was for Earth Day, you know. They advertised that O1 would appear to lead meditation this year. Do you think someone who made images like this could be a Buddhist? Buddhists don't commit sins against themselves. Therefore, that image is definitely not the work of a Buddhist. Since it's not a Buddhist, it must be Muslim. Why? Because Islam is involved. The information has always indicated that it comes from O6, and they're also coordinating with the Purple Princess. So, Islam has always been involved. including the 70% share given to the Purple Princess since 2021. The temple has never denied this because no one ever asked. And when people tried to ask, they weren't allowed to speak. That means it's real. And the people who heard the Purple Princess walking around Paragon and saying she owns Wat Phra Dhammakaya said it openly. No one, well, you'd have to eavesdrop to hear it. It means it's true. The 70% share really went to them. But who did it go to? Islam. And why say it's Islam? Look at the activities in the south, building a Buddhist pagoda in Patani. How is that even possible? It's impossible. Back in the day, when O1 taught in kindergarten, he said the deepest pagoda that could be built was in Bang Klam, Songkhla. Bang Klam is the deepest place. But you can't go any further because it's dangerous. That's what O1 said. So, building a pagoda wasn't O1's initial goal. Then he went to Patani. When did that happen? And why are people who make merit there safe? Aren't you surprised? And why are all the big merit-making events at the temples in the past, which O1 organized, so full of obstacles, now so smooth? All they do is put O1 aside, release his sermons, and people accept it. It's not just that. If he didn't have a 70% share, do you think he would stay quiet? Now he's gotten so much that he feels like he got a lot last year, but this year, think about it. He's investing in advertising to help make O1's Buddhist followers see that O1 will appear to lead meditation on World Protection Day. But the pagoda he's built is a public park, a tourist attraction. Why haven't you noticed? And at Wat Dhammakaya, the Public Relations Department, Phra Sanatuang, didn't you see the images? Or were you complicit in it? You're going to say Islam did it, but why? If they didn't benefit from it, think about it, you O1 followers. You're going to say this is evil. This is evil trying to obstruct our love for Luangpur Dhammacheo. We don't care. You love O1 so much that you don't care that now the Muslim community and their people are fully involved in your work, even helping with advertising like this. They're using O1 as a front to make you believe. What are they trying to gain from doing this? If not to deceive Buddhists into believing that O1 will really come? They don't fear the sin they'll incur because they don't believe in merit or sin. If Buddhists were asked to do something like that, they would say no, because if it's not true, it's a sin. That's why only non-Buddhists dare to create such images. And if Buddhists believe it, you're incredibly foolish. Your delusion has clouded your judgment to the point where you don't care about anything else. I've pointed out that this is abnormal, extremely abnormal, and yet you let them do it. Advertise it without any denial from the temple. Why? Or do the monks at the temple, like Phra Sanatuang, see the benefit, thinking, hey, this is good, they're helping with advertising. So more people will come to the temple because O1 might come out that day. I don't know if you're saying this or not, without considering the reality of O1. The real culprits definitely can't come because the 7 monks who falsely accused O1, to the point that the DSI could have arrested them if they had met O1. That matter would have been true since 2018. But nobody knew. And all of them, from O2 down, have been managing the temple as monks with positions and good looks. When these people, the real culprits, committed serious sins without shame, pointing fingers and saying they followed O1's orders, even though O1 didn't order them to cheat, and then implicating O1 as the sole culprit while they are innocent, where is their shame? And they still have the audacity to be monks in Wat Dhammakaya, allowing people to worship them? You're saying I'm accusing these monks of sin? Who's really sinful? Please use your common sense and brains. Look at the truth. If you don't believe me, you should ask others. But don't just refuse to listen and then accuse me of being evil. The problem is, you don't believe me, so you'll be deceived and lose your merit. You want merit, don't you? You've paid so much. Don't you want merit? O1 is telling you that you're not getting any merit and are losing it. And importantly, with Islam helping to publicize this to this extent. Islam doesn't see Buddhists as friends, they see them as enemies. They can kill them whenever they want. But right now, they're using them because Buddhists are naive. They can kill whenever they want, but as long as they're making them money, they're still supporting them. They've shown a plan to transform Wat Dhammakaya into a tourist attraction. They just need you to help with this work, and they'll seize the land immediately without asking you. Why could they seize it so easily? Last year, the religious faction saw the plan. They would use airborne poison during the 40,000 temples rally. They put waste into the spray paint on the 300,000 Buddha images on the pagoda. They had everything ready. When they cast their spells, these spells would cover you, making you delirious, insane, and eventually dead. The Buddhists would die, and they'd seize the temple. Think about it. How many temples are there in Thailand? If they all came that day, all 40,000 temples would be deserted. And look at this year. The provincial abbot heard about Chiang Mai, right? Oh, last year the monks had a lot of fun giving sermons in the glass room too. This year, when I interviewed the abbot, he said Chiang Mai definitely supports it because he believes it's a big operation by O1. You're using the abbot's honesty, relying on the sincerity of the monks who truly love O1, to deceive them. In the end, the monks will bring all the monks from the entire province, and you'll kill them all and seize all the temples. And then, who will you sue? Because everyone who could sue will be dead. Oh, you've taken over all the Buddhists, but Muslims have come and settled here in large numbers, and you'll be able to take over their homes comfortably. Plus, you've been providing them with money for years. Do you think they'll ever find money again? They don't need to, because you've been providing it for them since 2021. Think about it. That's 4 years already. And how much more do they need this time, to the point that even Islam is helping to promote it? Promoting lies to deceive Buddhists. What do they hope to gain? They hope to bring everyone here so they can all die at once. That way, they won't have to go through the trouble of killing Buddhists one temple at a time, 40,000 temples across Thailand. Bring them all here at once, and they'll all die at once. That's the easiest way. I'm not kidding. He was going to do this last year. When I exposed him, he changed his mind. But this year, the one referred to as 06, isn't doing it anymore because Islam no longer trusts him. Islam is doing it themselves, starting with this advertisement. Islam dares to put an image of O1 floating in the air and say that O1 will appear to lead meditation. How dare you say something that doesn't exist? Only people of other religions would say that. Do you understand now why I'm saying this? Don't accuse me of slandering you. Don't accuse me of being an evil force trying to prevent people from attending this merit-making event. Some people say, oh, whenever there's a big merit-making event, there's always an evil force trying to obstruct it. Yes, if it were in the time of O1, that would be true. But now it's a big sin that the forces of good are trying to obstruct. But you see us as the forces of sin and evil because you haven't opened your eyes to see when the sky turned black. You only see the merit in front of you. You're framed by what you used to do, the money you used to spend, the ribbons you used to receive. And you think everything is the same. Therefore, it's the same. But the truth is, you've been living in the cave of the dark forces of evil for many years. You just didn't notice. You just sit with your eyes closed and think that you're only focusing on merit, with a pure and bright heart. In the end, you've been deceived all along. Now you're about to run out of merit. You still don't realize it. Now, O1 is telling you this. It's your last chance. Whether you survive or not depends on your karma. I'm saying this as your last opportunity. I'm telling O1 that after this, I won't talk about this anymore. It's your life. I've said enough. I won't say any more. You won't do what I tell you. You had the chance to prove the truth you believed, but you chose the easy way, believing the people at the temple. You don't know how those people at the temple have been molded into their group by self-interest and other things, their merit and spiritual power obscured, turning them into slaves. Therefore, you will never get the truth from them until the day you die. Even after you die, you won't know where you went wrong, why the great merit you just accumulated didn't save you. By then, you'll be dead in a dark abyss where you can't see anything. You'll never know what really happened. So, this is your last chance. I assure you, April 22nd this year is very dangerous. Anyone who comes to that event has a high chance of not surviving. You don't believe me, that's up to you, but I've received confirmation that what I'm saying is correct. They did this last year, and they misunderstood. But this year, it's not 2006, it's the Muslims doing it. Islam has no mercy. They only care about when these Buddhists are no longer useful to them, and when they do, you'll realize it's too late. And those of us who believe in Kiantawan are few and far between, diligently practicing meditation to save ourselves. If you focus on subtle dharma, they won't bother you. They won't care how much merit you gain to accumulate wealth. Wealth or lack thereof isn't the most important thing in life. Inner dharma is what you must attain. If you haven't escaped delusion, you can meditate until you die, but you will never see the Buddha within yourself. You'll waste an entire lifetime. It's pointless. So, if you truly love Fra Damacheo, 01, you must believe this. Fra Damacheo left the temple on February 2, 2019, because they were going to arrest him as 7 other monks pointed fingers, accusing him of embezzling temple donations. The person who advised them to say this was Fra Maha Samchai, 06. Therefore, wicked people are advising wicked people to commit wickedness and slander Fra Damacheo, who is an innocent monk. But Fra Damacheo isn't there to be arrested like in 2017 under Section 44. Right? This time, if Fra Damacheo doesn't leave, they won't find him, and they'll expel everyone and close the temple. This is what Fra Damacheo has already seen and knows, that it will cause suffering for everyone. It's very heavy karma. So, it was necessary to inform 06 that 01 had left the temple and that they didn't need to bring people to raid it. That's why 06 didn't need to bring officials to arrest them. But they said they would use people from the temple and find money to compensate them, a way of sharing the spoils so they wouldn't have to work so hard. Now, since 01 is cleared of criminal charges during this period, they're afraid 01 will come back for revenge. So, if 01 doesn't come back, they're thinking about how best to use 01 to their advantage. And because the temple people expect to see 01 once the statute of limitations expires, they have a plan B. They might need to find someone who looks like 01. So they started using AI to distort the image, making it look like this or that until people can't recognize the face. And if 01 actually comes out, but it's a fake, you won't know. But there's another scenario. If 01 comes out and the officials think it's the real one and arrest him, that would be trouble. So they started thinking about impersonation. They'll pretend that 01 will come that day, encourage a large crowd, then close the temple and do whatever they want with the Buddhist people who come that day. But they spread rumors that the temple was closed because they arrested 01 and seized the temple. Then they'll say they didn't arrest 01, but it's time to seize and close the temple. But the truth is, the Muslims behind the scenes were waiting for this. And what will they do to the Buddhists who come to the temple? Don't even get me started. They have ways, and it's easier than you think. But the important thing is, they are all 01's children and they came out of love for 01. You don't think about the feelings of a father who loves his children. You only think about your love for 01. So you have to do this. You don't listen to anyone who tells you anything. Even when O1 speaks to you face to face, you blindly refuse to listen because you want to show your love this way. You're foolish. Foolishness makes you a victim of the clever, and the clever ones are also dishonest. You won't survive, not just lose your life, but also your possessions. That's what O1 didn't want to happen, and that's why he's been trying to get me to speak here. I've spoken until I'm exhausted. I have no faith in you anymore. Those who don't listen, I have no faith in you, and I feel you don't deserve my time anymore. This time, if it weren't for O1 wanting me to say it again, for the sake of some people who came later, I wouldn't be sitting here talking anymore. And please go back and read the various pages where I've posted. It's enough. I won't repeat the same things again. I want to stop this. Just sit quietly in meditation, don't talk to anyone anymore. I think I've spoken enough. Anyone who comes later and wants to know more details can go back and look at my page. In the album, there are various books that I've recorded to tell stories. Go read them. They are all truths, which you can only know when you attain the Dhammakaya and see it for yourself. If anyone says it's not true, then they are proving that they haven't reached the inner Buddha, they haven't seen the truth. Those who boast about their Dhamma attainments and praise O1 in this way and that, but don't see me as one of them, but as an opponent, that means they themselves haven't seen the truth. What they see is delusional, distorted, and nonsensical, yet they think they see it as true and correct. Then they form factions within the temple to attack me. It reveals everything about themselves, that they are not genuine. Even people who don't know each other at all, like Buabucha or Chaba Q, why do they see the same things? Why do they help confirm and defend? Why do they see things correctly? Because they are on the side of the Buddha. Those who are guided to attain Dhamma in this lifetime find it easier. When they meet O1, they attain Dhamma quickly and easily, and it's correct, not distorted, not obstructed, not concealed. But he would have to be under the supervision of O1. Strictly following orders. There's a weakness to those who are on the side of favor. In this era, they often become stubborn and want to believe in themselves more. When the time comes, they simply refuse to listen or believe. And they will drift away. When they drift away, they will be severely persecuted because they haven't accumulated the merit of countless lifetimes like those on the side of suppression. They won't have the strong faculties to survive the forces of Mara. Therefore, if someone has the faculties of favor, they may have merit, but their spiritual power is weak. They can attain enlightenment simply by not obstructing others. However, if you are not 100% loyal and faithful to Luangpur Dhammacheo and you act according to your own desires, you risk being deceived and enslaved by him, just like you, Chitralada. I feel sorry for you. You had the opportunity to see the truth, but once you reached a certain point, you did something that wasn't right, something that wasn't your duty. You didn't tell him to do it, but you decided to do it yourself. You made your own vows, you were arrogant and boastful. This allowed Mara to use you to see a falsehood and deceive others. And now you're being used to attack Kyongtawan. I don't know whether to be happy or sad. To have received the Dharma so quickly. To see things so clearly, only to become a servant to others, attacking the side of merit, is pathetic and regrettable. It's a wasted opportunity, a lifetime lost. Even though you met Luangpur Dhammacheo and encountered the Dhammakaya teachings, I hold no grudge against you. I forgive you. I've been through a lot like this. I've seen many people like this. In the battlefield of O1, I've worked alongside true enlightened ones. I've seen it all. Therefore, what I say is not wrong. But you won't believe me because you're not in my lineage of merit. Those who believe me must be in my lineage. Unfortunately, most of my lineage are dead. Because when I was reborn, I was interrupted and thrown far away. It took many years to be reborn into this world. Those in the same lineage who were reborn earlier didn't meet me, and those who did later were already old. By the time they understood anything, they were already dead, so I've lost a lot of my lineage. Therefore, I'm not surprised if few people listen to me or don't believe me. But I've done my duty to the best of my ability. I believe that with the merit of O1, I will find the people O1 wants to know, to listen to me and receive information from me, so that I can speak on O1's behalf. O1, let me speak on your behalf to convey information and knowledge to the next generation. At that time, I had nothing to lose from doing this, I only gained merit. If I didn't want this merit anymore, I would simply stop. Even if you tried to persuade me to help, I might not, because I would no longer have faith in the listeners. It would be time to move on to something more beneficial for myself. So, this is my final message. Happy Thai New Year to everyone. May you all survive. Oh, and I'll leave you with this. A person with merit in our group dreamed of the near future. There will be danger. A great flood, at the earliest within the next 2 months. If you don't believe me, you probably won't believe this either. But if you do believe, you must quickly escape your delusion. Only then will merit protect you. If you still want to remain in delusion and want to receive merit from 40,000 temples, I've told you that merit from 40,000 temples does contain merit. But you must first escape your delusion. You must believe the truth, that O1 is not really in a temple and that O1 is no longer Fra Damacheo. But this project is meritorious if you consider that it was initiated by O1, the first monk, since the time of the 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 temples. O1 did it on his birthday at the Vaharan Ket temple hall for many years. O1 wished for the Buddha's disciples to be united, like the single sun gathering together. He also encouraged his disciples to offer alms to the Sangha so they could accumulate much merit. That was O1's original goal, and it is truly meritorious. If you intend to participate in this 40,000 temple project, the funds you use to contribute to O1's merit must be viewed in this way. It is merit that O1 initiated. And even though O1 is no longer with us, this merit still belongs to O1 when you set your goal to make this offering, continuing O1's aspirations with your own heart. If you do this, you are not deluded. You know that O1 is no longer Fra Damacheo. You know that O1 has left the temple and is not actually directing this project. If you understand all of this correctly, then you participate in this merit-making activity at the 40,000 temples with sincere faith, just as you would help prepare the tables, cloths, and other items. Because you remember the times O1 invited his disciples to help clean the Vaharanket, set up the tables, lay out the cloths, and arrange the offerings. If you remember that era and feel proud of the time when O1 Chuan made merit, and it was a pure merit, like a newly born merit, then when you do this, you receive merit immediately because you do it with a pure and clean heart, without any attachment or delusion. Therefore, if anyone wants to receive merit from making merit on this year's World Protection Day, they must think and believe this way. Only then will you receive merit, and you will be saved. If there was indeed poisoning at the Dharma Center, the merit you have, because you did not abandon merit due to delusion, will help you survive. That's it, everyone. Believe it or not, it's up to you. We wish you good luck and rejoice in the merit of everyone who helps share. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.